Hello? 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 Dear students, are you able to hear me? Hello? Oh, sorry, stop streaming. Hello? Quality, video quality. Hi students, am I audible? Yeah, now we can start. Dear students, please confirm, am I audible or not? Please confirm. Yeah, okay, thank you. So I request all the students who have participated in this live telecast to press the like button. By the way, I'm Prakash. I'm a chartered accountant and acting as academic advisor in Masterminds from the past 20 years. And today I'm here to address and answer all the queries, all the doubts of the students about CA course new scheme, which was launched on 1st July 2023. Actually, CA Institute has already released, number one, the prospectus. I have gone through the same. Number two, they have already released the transition provisions document. I have gone through the same. And the third one, they have also released these FAQs, frequently asked questions. I have gone through all the three documents. As you know that, so among all these three documents, 90% of the content is almost same. So that's why I have made my own document compiling the data from all these three sources. And first of all, I am going to tell the major changes happened in all the three stages of CA course. And then I will cover the transition provisions document released by ICAI. After that, I will start answering all your queries, because once I finish this document, all the points finished in this document, which I have compiled on my own, 95% of your doubts will get cleared. So that's why at the end, I will be clearing all your doubts. Yeah. So coming to FAQs, once I answer all the, once I explain the entire content in this document, then actually it's not required for us to go through the FAQs. Everything is already covered in this document. But I will open the transition provisions document and I will explain the same. And small disclaimer, whatever I am saying in this document, in this video, so I have gone through all the three documents released by ICAI. So after thorough understanding, based on my perception, based on my experience, I am making this video. See, if there is anything wrong, I request all of you to confirm and recheck twice and then take a action. So because it's a human error will always be there, I tried my level best to provide you with the best and correct information. I hope that you will excuse me if I commit any mistake. Now, first of all, let us see what are the major changes happened at the foundation level. So in the earlier scheme, the first stage was called CA Foundation, second stage CA Inter. After that, 3 years of articleship, and 6 months prior to completion of articleship, student can give first attempt of CA final. Now coming to the new scheme, same, first stage is same CA Foundation, second stage same CA Inter, third stage same CA final. Major difference is the articleship tenure has been reduced to only 2 years. Immediately after articleship, you cannot write your CA final exams. You have to wait and prepare for CA final for 6 months and then write CA final. Now coming to the papers and subjects at CA foundation level, first paper is accounting, 100 marks. Small chapters have been removed, like goods and on sale or return basis, average due date, account current, such kind of small chapters have been removed. When it comes to partnership, they have added, so partnership accounting for LLP also. So in that manner, they have made some minor changes. Coming to the business class, so they have shifted 4 chapters from CA inter-level to CA foundation, that is bailment at pledge, which is very easy, indemnity and guarantee, contract of agency, and 4th chapter is negotiable instruments act. Actually these 4 chapters get covered in CA inter other laws. All of them have been shifted to business class of CA foundation, and they have completely eliminated BCR from paper 2. Similarly, from business class, they have eliminated a chapter called LLP, Limited Liability Partnership, and they shifted it to CA inter other laws. Frankly speaking, still other laws is there in CA inter, but so 4 chapters are left out in other laws. One is LLP in CA inter. I'm talking about CA inter. One is LLP. Another one is FEMA. They moved from CA final. And the remaining 2 acts which were there earlier also. One is interpretation of statutes. Another one is general clauses act. Frankly speaking, students at foundation level cannot understand those 2 chapters. That's why they might have decided to continue at CA inter level. Now coming to paper 3, quantitative aptitude. Same divisions, business mathematics 40 marks, reasoning 20 marks, and statistics same 40 marks. There is no change at all. Now coming to business economics. Earlier there used to be business economics for 60 marks and 40 marks for BCK, business and commercial knowledge. They have eliminated BCK and allotted 100 marks to business economics. So earlier in CA inter we used to have economics for finance. Some of the topics, some of the chapters of economics for finance have been shifted to business economics of CA foundation. Overall, if you say whether the syllabus is increased or decreased, I can say it's almost the same. It's almost the same. Few chapters have been reduced. For example, BCR is completely eliminated, but around 4 chapters have been added in the business class. Similarly, business economics, BCK is completely eliminated. Earlier, there used to be 6 chapters in that. Almost 5 to 6 chapters from CA inter economics for finance and some other general topics have been added into paper 4 of business economics. That means there is no fundamental change in respect to the quantity of syllabus. But definitely student will feel it to be more comfortable because BCR has been removed. So these exams will be conducted in January, coming to CA foundation, the exams will be conducted in June and December. The first 2 papers of CA foundation will be descriptive. The second 2 papers of CA foundation will be objective with the 0.25 negative mark for every wrong answer. Now students can register for CA foundation immediately after qualifying 10th class, but they will be allowed to write CA foundation exams only after writing 12th class examinations. The study period for CA foundation will be just 4 months. That means students who register on or before 31st January can write exams to be held in June. Similarly, students who register on or before 31st July can write CA foundation exams to be held in December. Earlier, the cutoff dates used to be 31st December and 30th June respectively. Now the registration cutoff date has been extended by around 1 month. Now, so there is one interesting observation here. So it is sufficient if it is sufficient for the student to appear for 12th class examinations so that he will get eligible to write CA foundation exams. There is no condition as such that he must qualify his 12th class examinations. For example, one student has registered for CA foundation, but he was unable to qualify his 12th class, that is either junior inter or senior inter or +1 or +2. Then, in my opinion, based on the interpretation I have done, he is still eligible to write his CA foundation exams, but he cannot register for CA inter unless he shows an evidence that he has qualified his 12th exam. the last attempt under the existing scheme will be November 23 and the first attempt under new scheme will be May 24. Here is one interesting observation. For example, what about the students who register between July 1st to July 31st? Because under the new scheme, the last date to register for a December attempt is 31st July. For example, if I go and register for CA Foundation between 1st July to 31st July, technically, institute has to conduct CA Foundation exams in new syllabus also in December 2023 attempt. That's why they have intentionally decided to stop registrations from 2nd July to 31st July. And once again, these new registrations will start from 2nd August 2023. So that means all the students who register after July 1st, 2023 will automatically fall under new syllabus only. And the first exam under new syllabus will be May 2024 in CA Foundation. So let us see some interesting observation about students who are right now in senior inter, but they might have already registered and applied for study materials. In such a case, you will obviously fall under new scheme. Second situation, you already registered and you have not applied for study materials. Then even such kind of students will also fall under new scheme and they need to write May 2024 attempt exams as per new scheme only. If you have not applied for study materials earlier, now you can directly apply for study materials under new scheme. If you have already applied for study materials earlier and you have already received them, now you got an opportunity to purchase another set of study materials under new scheme at a concessional fees. Same is the case with junior inter students also. So students who are in junior inter currently, some of them might have already registered for CA Foundation. Then you are eligible to write CA Foundation exams under new scheme in June 2025. If you have already applied for study materials and already obtained them, then you have to purchase the study materials again at a concessional price. If you have not obtained the study materials earlier, now you can apply for study materials under new scheme free of cost. The registration fees is 9,000 rupees for CA Foundation. And earlier we heard that all the papers of CA Foundation are going to be converted as MCQ papers. So as of now, there is no decision as such, but based on information I have, within 1 or 2 years, they will gradually convert these exams into 100% MCQs, and that too these exams will be conducted in online mode, that is computer based exams. Let's wait and see. So students of National Open School can also register for CA Foundation. Sir, what about diploma holders? Actually, there is some confusion in the prospectus. I need some time. So I have sent a mail to the CA Institute. Once I get the clarity, I will make another video on the same. So by looking at the prospectus, what it seems is, so student shall first finish his diploma and then he has to register for graduation, and in the first year of graduation, then he can register for CA Foundation. That's what the prospectus says. Let's wait and see. Let me receive the official clarification from CA Institute. Now here are the major changes happened at the CA inter level. So earlier there used to be 8 papers divided into 2 groups. That means 4 papers in each group. Now there are only 6 papers under the new scheme. Only 6 papers. Same, divided into 2 groups of 3 papers each. So accounting and advanced accounting of old syllabus has been merged together as advanced accounting. And corporate and other laws, so same subject is there. Taxation, same. Earlier income tax used to be for 60 marks, GST for 40 marks. Now 50 marks income tax, GST also 50 marks. Paper 4 cost and management accounting, same. So paper 5 auditing ethics, same. Paper 6 financial management and strategic management, 50 marks each. Earlier financial management used to be for 60 marks and economics for finance used to be for 40 marks. Remember, 2 subjects have been completely eliminated in CA inter. One is EIS, another one is economics for finance. Actually, those two subjects together, so will take around 150 hours to teach. Now coming to advanced accounting, yes, they have merged the syllabus of accounting and advanced accounting papers of CA Inter, but some of the chapters have been shifted to CA Foundation accounts, and they have added all the accounting standards in the syllabus of advanced accounting. So frankly speaking, there is no much difference in the syllabus. Neither there is an increase nor there is a decrease in all the existing papers, that is 6 papers. Now these CA Inter and final examinations will be conducted in May and November rather than June, December. And one interesting point is, in all these 6 papers, 70% of the questions will be descriptive, 30% of the questions will be objective, that is MCQs. No negative marking. It is sufficient to score 40% marks in each paper and 50% marks in each of the groups. There is no change in the pass criteria, but institute has a right to change it in future. Coming to the study period, so CA Inter study period is 8 months. Now coming to the cutoff date for registration, so September 1st is the cutoff date for next year, May 2024 attempt. Similarly, 31st March is the cutoff date for November attempt of the same year. Now, who can register for CA Inter? Number 1, who has qualified CA Foundation. For example, a student has qualified CA Foundation, but he was unable to clear his Junior Inter or Senior Inter, that is 11th or 12th exams. Then he can qualify his CA Foundation, there is no objection at all, but he has to show that he qualified his 11th and 12th class, then only he will be allowed to register for CA Inter. Students who have completed their graduation or post-graduation. So if it is commerce stream, 55% is the cutoff marks, others 60% cutoff marks. That means students who have completed their graduation or PG then can directly register for CA Inter. Similarly, students who have completed both groups of CMA Inter or both groups of CS Inter, Company Secretary Inter, can also register for CA Inter directly. And the interesting part is, let us assume right now you are pursuing the last year of your degree or PG. Then you can register for CA Inter, that is called provisional registration. So in the next question, I will discuss it. The registration fees for both the groups will be 18,000. Earlier, students used to have an option to register either for both groups or single group. That means students used to get a facility of paying the registration fees in installments. But unfortunately, right now that facility is not there, because a student is now eligible to join for practical training only after qualifying both the groups. That's why there is no concept of paying the registration fees in installments now. And coming to the rules of exemption. First of all, let us see the exemption rules in the existing scheme. For example, I have appeared for exams in May 2023. I was unable to clear one group, but in that group, I was able to score 60 or more than 60 in 1 or 2 papers. Then I need not write those 1 or 2 papers in the subsequent 3 attempts. That facility is called exemption. But under the new scheme, the same old rule is there, but the student has been given another option. For example, after these 3 attempts, my exemption will get expired and I need to read that paper, write that paper once again. But under the new scheme, after expiry of these 3 attempts, I will be given an option. So what is that option? Very simple. So I can continue that exemption, and in such a case, I must score at least 50% marks in each of the remaining papers of that group. Earlier, so if I don't want to continue that exemption, then that exemption will get expired and I need to score 40% marks in each paper and 50% in total. So that facility is extended at CA Inter as well as final levels. That means if you are interested, there is no compulsion. You can continue your exemption forever. and the last attempt under the old scheme is November 23, and the first attempt under new scheme will be May 24. Now, so actually I have seen a provision called conversion of CA foundation registration to direct entry. Actually, there is no clarity in the prospectus, so I have already sent a mail to the CA Institute. Once I get the clarity, I'll make another video on the same. So here are some important observations on the direct entry scheme. So in the existing scheme, a student who has completed his degree or PG with 55% marks for commerce stream students and 60% marks for other students. Such students can directly register for practical training under the existing scheme. First, they need to finish 9 months of practical training, and then they can write CA inter exams for the first time, and the practical training period used to be 3 years. But the biggest advantage under the new scheme is, first you have to register for CA inter, you finish your CA inter, and then you have to do your ICI TSS classes, and then you have to join for practical training. So earlier, first practical training for 9 months, then CA inter exams. Now, first CA inter both groups qualification, and then practical training. That is a major difference, which is very advantage for degree completed students. So, eligibility is degree or PG 55% if you belong to commerce stream, otherwise 60%. Alternatively, if you have qualified CMA inter both groups or CA inter both groups, you can register for directly CA inter. And you need to count the marks of group subjects only, but not the optional subjects. Now, what is the definition of commerce stream? It's a very important discussion. Look at the subjects: accounting, auditing, mercantile law, etc. So here is the long list of subjects. Any of the above 3 subjects, at least for 50 marks in a semester or year, and the condition is and, not or, and at least a total of 100 marks in the entire course. That means you must cover any 3 of these subjects for 50 marks in a semester and 100 marks in the entire course. Then you will be considered as belonging to commerce stream, and in such a case, it is sufficient if you score 55% total marks in your entire degree. Otherwise, you must score 60% in the entire degree. If you don't meet the above criteria, you have 2 options. One is you have to come through foundation route. Another one is PG. You have to finish PG and then come. So, most interesting discussion is provisional registration. For example, you have already finished second year or third year of your degree, and right now you are in the last year of degree. For example, in some states, degree will be there for 4 years. In such a case, last year means 4th year. So, you are in the last year of degree or PG. Then you can immediately register for CA inter. That is called provisional registration. The cutoff dates are September 1st or March 1st, as the case may be. If you register before September 1st, then you may be eligible to write exams for next year, May. Similarly, if you are able to register for CA inter, that is provisional registration, before March 1st of this year, then you may be eligible to write CA inter examinations in November of this year itself. But you have to meet some conditions. So first condition is your provisional registration has to become permanent. How it becomes permanent? You have to show the evidence that you have qualified your degree with the eligible marks. What are those eligible marks? 55% for commerce and 60% for others. You have to show that. By what time you have to show this evidence? By the time you apply for CA inter exams. By the time you apply for CA inter exams. So that is the reason. Let us assume you are right now pursuing the last year of degree. As on today, you are pursuing the last year of degree. Yes, you can do provisional registration now, but most probably your degree final year exams may get completed by March or April 2024. Am I correct or not? But by the time the last date to apply for CA inter will already get finished. Hence, you will not be eligible to write CA inter exams to be held in next year May, that is May 24th. Of course, either by June or July, you will be able to submit an evidence to the CA Institute that you got the prescribed marks in degree. And you will be given eligibility to appear for CA inter exams to be held in November 2024. All the students who are planning to do provisional registration, I request you to consider this decision. Now, if you fail to score the prescribed marks, will the CA Institute refund the provisional registration amount? So right now there is no clarity as such in the prospectus, but based on my experience, what I can say is earlier CA Institute used to refund the provisional registration amount. So hope that the same thing will be repeated in the new scheme also. Now let us see the major points to be observed in the practical training. So you must qualify both the groups of CA Inter, and you should also finish ICI-TSS. That means Integrated Coaching for Information Technology and Soft Skills. So these two you must finish, and then only you can join for practical training. Earlier, a student was allowed to join for practical training even after qualifying one group, but now student must qualify both the groups to join for practical training. And now the practical training is just 2 years as against 3 years in the earlier scheme. But in the earlier scheme, a student was allowed to take 156 days of leaves in 3 years of period. Student can use it for his preparation or for taking CA final coaching. But now the student is eligible to take only 12 days of leaves a year. But my question is, let us assume in the first year I consumed only 6 days of leave, and will that remaining 6 days of leaves will be carried forward to the second year or not? I have read the prospectus twice, but actually there is no clarity about this condition. Let's wait and see if CA Institute will send any clarification with respect to the same. So sir, what will happen if I take more number of leaves? Very simple, your articleship tenure will get extended. So instead of 2 years, you need to work for additional days, that is to the extent of additional leaves that you have taken, nothing to worry. Now after that, you need to clear 4 self-paced learning modules within the 2 years itself. After that, you have to wait for 6 months, you need to prepare for your CA final. After that, you have to finish advanced ICI-TSS. Of course, during that 6 months of gap also, you can finish your advanced ICI-TSS. And then you are eligible to write your CA final exams. Let us assume you have written your May 2023 attempt CA inter exams. Very soon you are going to get your CA inter results, maybe before July 10th. So let us assume you are able to finish ICI-TSS and everything by August 31st. Let's assume like that. By August 31st, you are able to finish everything. So ICI-TSS is also completed. Then you can register for CA inter. You can register for practical training. The practical training will be only for 2 years. That means by 31st August 2025, your articles will get completed. After that, you have to wait for 6 months. That means till February 2024, you have to wait. So then you have to write your CA final exams in May 2024. Still you have 3 months of gap. So that means 6 months of gap for preparing for your CA final, and next 3 months of gap. Total around 8 to 9 months of gap will be there. You can comfortably take face-to-face classes coaching for CA final because ample gap is there. And in this 8 to 9 months of gap, you can even finish your advanced ICI-TSS classes. Now coming to the industrial training, in the last year of your 2 years of articleship, that is practical training, in the last year, you can go for practical training either ranging from 9 to 12 months. Earlier it used to be 9 to 18 months. Now you can go for industrial training only for 9 to 12 months. And you need to work under a chartered accountant in that company, and the minimum stipend prescribed by the CA Institute is 15,000 rupees, which is a decent amount. Now practical training assessment test, actually it is there in the existing scheme also. After completion of 1 year of practical training, you have to write this exam, but actually it is optional to write. There is no compulsion as such. They will issue one virtual certificate, and these marks will not be included in your CA final certificate. Nothing will be mentioned on the CA final certificate. And most important drastic change in the new scheme is self-paced learning modules. So these are like you need to prepare on your own. So you can simply say that you need to prepare on your own. So own preparation is also very important. So institute will support you by providing some recorded video lectures. There will be 4 sets. First set is corporate and economic class for 100 marks. Actually, they have shifted this paper from old syllabus of CA final. It is compulsory. You cannot choose. You must you must clear your set A exam, that is corporate and economic class. Set B is strategic cost management and performance evaluation or performance management. It is there in the old scheme. They have shifted from old scheme. It's for 100 marks and it is also compulsory. Set C consists of 10 electives and you can choose 1. Set D consists of 4 electives and you can choose 1. Frankly speaking, there are no electives in set A and set B, but there are electives in set C and set D. Set C and set D, yes, you can change later on. While applying for exam, you can change them. So these video lectures will be provided through Digital Learning Hub maintained by ICAI, and this Digital Learning Hub will monitor whether you are watching the videos or not. Using artificial intelligence, they may monitor whether you really finished watching the videos or not. They will track whether you watched the videos or not. Yes, it is mandatory to finish minimum prescribed learning hours, and the exam will be 100% MCQs. Cutoff marks will be 50%. Luckily, there is no negative marking, and you can choose electives at the time of registration of CA final itself. Later on, while applying for exam, you can change. Set A and set B, online case scenario based MCQs, just like your CA inter. Institute is expecting expert knowledge in set A and set B. You will be provided e-books plus physical books as well as recorded videos. Set C and set D, there will be normal independent MCQs as well as case scenario based MCQs. Institute is expecting just working knowledge. They will provide e-books only. And so you can write and qualify one module at a time. There is no compulsion that all the 4 modules have to be written at a time. There is no restriction on the number of attempts. You can write for any number of times. And most probably it's a center based exam. Exam will be conducted in the regional council centers of the CA Institute, just like your ICA TSS and advanced ICA TSS exams. And you can schedule the exam as per your convenience. So these marks will not be added to your CA final. Yes, I repeat, the marks you scored in the elective papers will not be added in the CA final marks. You need not worry about the pass percentage or marks at CA final level. Now let us see the major points to be observed at CA final level. So coming to the papers, first paper is going to be FR, same as old. Frankly speaking, there is no much difference in the syllabus under the old scheme as well as new scheme in all the papers of CA final. Only thing is 2 papers of old scheme, one is SCMPE, another one is law, have been shifted from normal CA final syllabus to self-paced learning modules. That's the only difference. That means instead of preparing and qualifying 8 papers at a time, now you got an opportunity to prepare 2 papers during your articleship and 6 papers after completion of your articleship. The biggest advantage to CA final students now is, along with your articleship, you need not focus on your CA final. During your 2 years of articleship, your complete attention should be learning work. Number 2, watch the videos relating to self-paced learning modules and clear your self-paced learning modules. That is 4 sets. So don't worry about CA final preparation during your articleship. Focus on the remaining areas. Immediately after completion of 2 years of articleship, you have to wait for 6 months. And during that 6 months, you better attend your CA final classes in face-to-face. Let me tell you frankly, the quality of the question papers will definitely get improved. Since the quantity has been reduced, institute will expect you to be thorough with the remaining 6 papers. That's why it's always better to attend face-to-face classes for your CA final rather than recorded videos. Now, the most interesting part of this new CA final syllabus is paper 6. All the first 5 papers are exactly same as the existing scheme, but paper 6 is integrated business solutions. For example, in an exam, you are getting questions on direct taxes, and in that question, you will not get any information about indirect taxes. That means in each of the question paper, you will be given questions of that subject only. But in integrated business solutions, you will get multidisciplinary case studies. That means involving the knowledge of paper 1 to 5, that is all the remaining 5 papers of CA final, plus self-paced learning modules of set A and set B, as well as strategic management. That means to answer each of the question in this paper 6, you need the knowledge of all these areas. 5 papers of CA final, so set A and set B of self-paced learning module, as well as strategic management. That means you have to focus on set A and set B very seriously. Don't take it as casually. That is also one reason I told you during your 2 years of articleship, you please pay more attention on these self-paced learning modules rather than your CA final video lectures. Now here are some more details on paper 6. So it's a closed book. Is it a closed book or open book exam? This integrated business solutions is an open book exam. All the remaining papers will be closed book exam. So in this paper, you will 100% get case scenario based questions. And right now, we also have one open book exam at CA final. It's called elective paper. And most probably, so this paper will be similar to that. That means around 60% of descriptive and 40% of MCQs. Right now, the open book exam is being conducted for 4 hours. Most probably, this paper will also be conducted for 4 hours. So till now, there is no clarity in the prospectus. Now, coming to the CA final, in each and every paper, there will be 30% MCQs, 70% descriptive. What about old scheme? In only 4 papers, you used to get 30% MCQs and 70% descriptive. But in the new scheme, you will get 30% MCQs in each and every paper. So coming to the pass criteria, 40% marks in each of the papers and 50% marks in each of the groups. Institute may add negative marking in the future. Right now, there is no negative marking for MCQs. The same will apply for CA Inter as well as CA Final. Now, when can you register for CA Final? So first, you need to qualify both groups of CA Inter. After that, you need to finish ICA TSS classes. And after that, you need to register for CA Final as well as self-paced learning modules as well as practical training. All the 3 will start at a time. That means you need to register for all the 3 at a time. Now, the registration fees for CA Final both groups will be 22,000 and the cutoff date will be, generally it will be 30th April and 31st October. Now, when can you write your CA Final exams? First of all, you need to finish 2 years of practical training. After that, you have to wait for 6 months. That's what I was saying. You can prepare for CA Final by attending face-to-face classes. After that, you need to qualify advanced ICA TSS classes. During that 6 months, you can finish your advanced ICA TSS classes. And after that, you need to finish your self-paced learning modules also. That means during these 2 years of practical training, you have to clear these 4 self-paced learning modules also. And the last attempt under old scheme will be November 23 and the last attempt under new and the first attempt under new scheme will be May 24. So ICA TSS is a combination of 2 things. One is orientation course, another one is information technology training. Advanced ICA TSS is a combination of 2 things. One is MCS, another one is advanced ITT. So I have gone through the syllabus. So they have revamped the syllabus and came to know that ICAI will make drastic changes in the ICA TSS training. Let's hope for the best. Another interesting part is registration validity. So at CA foundation level, once you register, so the registration will be valid for only 4 years, and after that you cannot revalidate. You cannot register once again for foundation. When it comes to CA Inter, the validation period is 5 years, and after that you can register for one more time, only one time, revalidation, only one time for 400 rupees. So CA final 10 years from the date of registration, and you can revalidate for any number of times for 500 rupees. Remember, at foundation level, 4 years is from the first exam in which you are eligible to write CA foundation exams. When it comes to CA Inter and final, 5 years and 10 years have to be calculated from the date of registration. And let us assume you have converted from old scheme to new scheme. Even then, this validation period will apply. So business accounting associate, you need to first qualify both groups of CA Inter. After that, you need to finish 2 years of practical training. And after that, you need to finish both the levels of ICA TSS. And after that, you need to qualify 4 self-paced learning modules. And after that, you can apply for a certificate called Business Accounting Associate, and you can quit this course. And even after obtaining the certificate, you can still continue doing your CA final. There is no clarity if it will be considered as equivalent to graduation or not. And there is no clarity whether you need to wait for 6 months after completion of your after completion of your practical training, so as to apply for this Business Accounting Associate. There is no clarity as such. Let's wait for a clarification. Institute is also going to develop an MCQs dashboard for self-assistant for all the levels. You can directly log in and practice the MCQs. And so the last attempt for existing scheme is going to be November for CA Inter and CA Final, and December for CA Foundation. After that, all the students of old scheme will be converted to new scheme automatically. You need not pay any conversion fee also. Of course, if you want to convert voluntarily now itself, then you may need to pay nominal conversion fee. If you belong to old scheme and would like to purchase the study materials of the new scheme of CA Foundation, then it is sufficient to pay 500 rupees for study materials. And if it is CA Inter and Final, it is sufficient to pay just 1000 rupees for a full set of study materials. So this is all about the content that I have drafted on my own after reading the prospectus, FAQs, as well as transition provisions. Now let us see the transition provisions given by the CA Institute. So majority of the doubts will get clarified now. I know that majority students will have doubts in this transition scheme only. Now, so this is the first table. So the last date, so the last attempt for old scheme will be November 23 attempt, and the new scheme first exam will get started from May 2024. That's what this table says. Papers at CA Foundation level we have already covered. So papers at CA Inter level already covered. Self-paced learning modules I have already covered. Now papers at final level, yes, already covered. This is the new scheme in a flowchart, already covered. Now some notable points of conversion. First 2 points we have already covered. So group wise and paper wise exemption will be announced by the examination department separately. For example, you have already completed one group in the existing scheme and also got one exemption in another group. So will that benefit be continued under the new scheme? Yes, it will be continued. Exact rules will be framed later on and will be announced by the examination department. So self-paced learning modules already we have covered, and students who have qualified both groups of intermediate, it's a benefit given by the CA Institute. So if you have qualified both the groups under the existing scheme, that is 8 paper scheme, then you need not qualify set C and set D under the self-paced learning modules. Logic. So you have qualified 8 papers, but the student of new scheme is studying only 6 papers in CA Inter. So that's why they have decided to offer you a benefit. What is that benefit? You need not appear for set C and set D under the self-paced learning modules. They are exempted. Next one. Exemption in self-paced modules in either set D or set D. In either, it's not both. Set C or D will be applicable for students who have passed 7 papers at the intermediate level. What is this 7 papers? That means old scheme. So old scheme prior to CA Inter, that's called IPCC. In that scheme, if you have qualified both the groups of CA Inter, that is IPCC, then either set D or set D will be exempted. So let's wait for the official notification. So the most interesting paragraph. Final course students unsuccessful in existing scheme will appear in May 2024. For example, CA final student of existing scheme has written his exams in November 2023 and he was unable to qualify. Then he has to write May 2024 under which scheme? New scheme. Old scheme means 8 papers. New scheme means 6 papers of CA final. And he will be automatically converted. So such students shall first qualify self-paced learning modules. You first go and write your May 24 exams under the new scheme. After completion of exams, you can take care of set A and set B. And before applying for membership, that means ample time has been given. Let us assume you are unable to qualify in May 24 attempt also. Then first you have to clear set A as well as set B and then apply for November 2024 attempt. Sir, what about self-paced modules set C and set D? You are exempted. That means all CA final students who are going to write their exams in November 2023, you need not write self-paced learning modules of set C as well as set D if you are unable to qualify in that November 23 attempt. So next transition provision, students who have commenced or will commence practical training but by 30th June 2023. That means you have already registered for practical training earlier. Now it is being continuing. So it's definitely a saddest part. You have to continue 3 years of practical training. You will not be allowed to shift to 2 years of practical training. Logic is very simple. If you remember, while joining for practical training, you might have entered into an agreement with your principal auditor. So institute cannot modify thousands of agreements entered by the students with their principal auditor. That's why once you have enrolled for 3 years of practical training, you cannot change it. So you remember this simple point. Since you fall under 3 years of articleship, then you are eligible for 156 days of leaves. Since you are doing 3 years of articleship, you can write your CA final exams 6 months before completion of your practical training, provided you finish your 4 elective papers, that is self-paced learning modules, and you should also finish your advanced ITT course, just like under old syllabus. Of course, so your articleship is old scheme, that is 3 years, but you have to write the papers and syllabus of new syllabus of CA final, that is 6 papers. Now students who have passed either group of intermediate, that is either group 1 or group 2, and did not commence their 3 years of practical training till 30th June 2023. That means a CA Inter student has already qualified one group. Technically, he could have registered for practical training under the existing scheme. For any reason, he has not yet registered for practical training. Obviously, after July 1st, you have to register for practical training under new scheme only. That means 2 years of articleship. So it is sufficient for you to do 2 years of articleship. Of course, you have to finish your ITT. So ICATSS classes, and you are eligible to take only 12 days of leaves per year. Advanced ICATSS course has to be completed, and 4 self-paced learning modules should also be completed. And after completion of 2 years of practical training, you have to wait for 6 months and then write your CA final exams. Now, students provisionally registered in intermediate under direct entry route. So, under the existing scheme itself, you have done provisional registration for CA Inter. In such a case, since you have not attempted your CA Inter exams, you will automatically be converted into the new scheme. First, you need to finish 8 months of study period. After completion of 8 months of study period, you are eligible to write your CA Inter exams. Since you are in the provisional registration, first you need to show evidence that you have qualified your degree or PG. That you can do by the time of applying for your CA Inter exams. So after completion of degree, that is after showing evidence that you have scored the eligible marks in degree or PG, then you can write your CA Inter exams. After qualifying both the groups, you have to do practical training for 2 years. So eligible for only 12 days of leave per year after advanced ICA TSS classes and so 4 self-paced learning modules and 6 months of gap, you can write your CA final exams. Now students who will appear in November 2023 final exams in the existing scheme. So you belong to CA final and you are going to write your exams in November 2023 under the existing scheme itself, and you are able to qualify only one group. So you will be automatically be converted into new scheme and you have to write CA final exams of May 24 attempt in new scheme. Whatever the exemptions were there, so they will be carried forward and institute will release another notification for the same. You need not qualify in the self-paced learning modules C and D. Now coming to self-paced learning modules A and B, you first write your May 24 exams. So by the time you qualify and register and apply for membership, you must qualify these modules A and B also. If you are unable to qualify in May 24 attempt also, then for writing November 24 exams, you first finish your self-paced learning modules of A and B and then you have to apply for exam. Of course, set C and set D are already exempted. Here it seems to be a little bit illogical. For example, one student has already cleared group 1 under the existing scheme in November 2023. So institute is expecting such kind of students to clear self-paced module A and B. Actually set A is nothing but law, set B is nothing but SCMPE. The student has already qualified group 1 in the existing scheme. That means he has already studied law. Then what is the need for him to write module A once again? Similarly, a student who has already qualified group 2 in the existing scheme might have already studied SCMPE. Then institute might have exempted him to write set B. I'm confident that so by the time November 23 exams are conducted, institute will definitely take this kind of favorable decision towards students. So since you have already registered for 3 years of practical training, no one can change that. You have to finish that 3 years practical training and you are eligible for 156 days of leaves, and you have to finish advanced ICA TSS classes, then only you are eligible to apply for CA final exams, and you need to qualify set A and set B of your self-paced learning modules. So notable provisions of conversion, business accounting associate I have already covered. So foundation level, actually there is nothing much great in foundation level. Whatever I have covered, with that you can understand all these transition provisions. Major complexity is there at the CA Inter level. So conversion, that is a transition scheme intermediate level, that is CA Inter level through foundation route. That means this diagram is going to apply for the students who came to CA Inter through foundation route. Let us assume students appeared and passed in June 2023 foundation exam. So recently exams got completed. All such students will fall under new scheme only and they are eligible to write exams in May 2024. The cutoff date to register is September 1st. This is first clarification. Second one, students appeared and not successful in November 23 exams. For example, you appeared for November 23 attempt. Either you are able to qualify one group or you are unable to qualify any of the groups. Then your next attempt is May 24 and it will be under new syllabus only. I request all the students who are going to write their exams in November 2023 to take their exams very seriously, because this is going to be your last attempt under the existing scheme. You will automatically be converted into the new scheme. Next one, another transition provision for CA Inter students coming from foundation route. So you have appeared for CA Inter exams in May 2023 and you have already qualified one group in the existing scheme, or you got some exemption. What about the remaining group? You can write remaining group also in the November 2023 attempt only, that too under the existing scheme. And remember, if you have some exemptions, they will also get continued. Next one. So another transition condition. Student has appeared for exams in November 23 and passed only one group of CA Inter in the existing scheme. Okay. Another group you have to write in May 24 attempt only. So if you have any exemptions in any of the groups, so similar paper will be given exemption in May 24 attempt. You students need not worry. So after passing the remaining group in the new scheme, so such students are exempted for self-paced learning module, that is set C or set D, not both. Institute may take a decision. But if you have already cleared both groups of CA Inter in the existing scheme, that is 8 papers, then you need not write set C and set D in the self-paced learning module under the new scheme. That benefit is already given. But if you are able to qualify only one group in November 2023 but not the another group, then you will be given exemption either in set C or set D based on the decision taken by the CA Institute. Now, some of the transition provisions applicable to direct entry students. So this is one area where several students are getting confused. Let us assume you have already registered for practical training before 1st February 2023 itself. That means you are eligible to write your CA Inter exams for the first time in November 2023 under the existing scheme. Let us assume you are unable to qualify either one group or both the groups in November 2023. Then in May 24 attempt, you have to write exams in new scheme only. And you will automatically fall under new scheme for exams purpose. But since your practical training was already started, since you have already entered into an agreement with your principal auditor for 3 years of practical training, you have to finish 3 years of practical training only. Of course, so 6 months before the completion of practical training, you can write CA final exams. But the conditions are, you must clear both the groups of existing scheme or new scheme, then only you can register for practical training. So during this 2 years of practical training, you have to clear advanced ICA TSS, you have to qualify 4 self-paced learning modules, and so 6 months before the completion of practical training, you can appear for CA final exams. Sir, is it 8 papers or 6 papers? Only 6 papers. Your articleship will not get changed, but the number of papers you will fall under new scheme only. Next one, direct entry scheme, another transition provision. So student appearing for CA Inter exams in November 23 and he is able to qualify only one group of existing scheme, or he is able to got some exemption. So remaining group you have to write in May 24. It's not required to write both the groups in May 24 under new scheme. And automatically you will fall under the new scheme of education. And so exemption, whatever the exemptions you have in the existing scheme, they will be continued for new scheme also. And you have to continue 3 years of practical training, because your practical training has already got started and you are entitled for 156 days of leave. And just 6 months before the completion of practical training, you can write your CA final exams for the first time. That is only 6 papers, not 8 papers. Next, another transition provision. So student has registered for practical training after 1st February 2023. That means he is not eligible for November 2023 attempt, and the practical training is already in force. Your first attempt for CA Inter will be May 24, that too under the new scheme. New scheme means only 6 papers. You must finish 3 years of articleship. So 6 months before the completion of practical training, you can write your CA final exams. Of course, you have to finish advanced ICATSS classes and 4 self-paced learning modules. Next one. Students registered after 1st February 2023. That means you are not eligible to write your CA Inter exams for the first time in November 2023 next year. So there is a technical issue. Let me repeat this question. So students registered provisionally after 1st March 2023. That means right now you are in the final year of your degree. So you will be eligible to write your CF Inter exams for the first time in May 2024. Hence, you will obviously fall under new scheme. That means only 2 years of practical training will be applicable. And after completion of 2 years, you have to wait for 6 months to write your CA final. And meanwhile, you need to finish your advanced ICATSS as well as 4 self-paced learning modules. Next transition. Students who will register in intermediate under direct entry scheme till 1st September 2023. That means till now you are not registered for direct entry scheme under old scheme. Now you are planning to register under new scheme. Obviously, the last date is 1st September. So since you are going to directly register under the new scheme, your practical training will start only after completion of both the groups of CA Inter. So that is why your registration cutoff date is 1st September and you will write both groups of CA Inter in May 2024. So remaining rules same as what we discussed. That means 2 years of practical training, after that 6 months of gap and CA final. Next one. Students registered provisionally before 1st July and their final year graduation results will be declared after June 23. Let us assume, so you registered before 1st July itself and you are able to produce certificates that you got 55 or 60% of marks in your graduation now itself. Then you will be allowed to write your examinations in November 23 itself. But problem is you cannot submit the certificates before June ending. No degree university will provide such certificates. That's why you have to write your first attempt in May 2024 attempt itself under new scheme. That means 6 papers. After that 2 years of articleship, 6 months gap, CA final, remaining things will remain same. The last one, which is very interesting. So students registered provisionally on or before 1st July and your final year graduation results will be declared in June or July 24. So by the time the exam application has to be applied, that is May 24 attempt exam application time will end by approximately March ending. By that time you will not be able to produce evidence that you have finished your graduation or PG. That's why you will be allowed to write exams in November 2024 only under the new scheme. After that remaining things will remain same, that is 2 years of practical training, after that 6 months of gap and 4 self-paced learning modules. Coming to final level, there is another area where several students are getting confused. Let us assume you passed both groups of intermediate examination and practical training. So already commenced by 30th June itself. That means even before announcement of new scheme, your practical training already started. Then, so you have to write your, I'm sorry, I said it wrongly. So coming to CA final, you qualified both groups of CA Inter and your practical training already commenced before 30th June 2021 itself. Technically, you are eligible to write your CA final exams for the first time in November 2023 under the old scheme. So if you are successful, then so you have to clear you need not clear your self-paced learning modules. If you are unable to be successful in November 2023 and going to write your exams in May 2024, then module C and D are exempted and module A and B you can clear. So by the time you apply for membership, if you are unable to clear even in May 2024 attempt, then you have to clear. So elective papers, that is self-paced learning modules of module 1 and 2, also module set A and B also. So final level, students passed both groups of intermediate and commenced the practical training latest by 31st October. So actually your first attempt for CA final will come in May 2024, and since May 24 there is only new scheme applicable exams, then you have to write your exams in May in new scheme only. So you have to continue 3 years of articleship. I have already told you the logic. Once you have entered into an agreement with the principal auditor, it cannot be changed. Next, CA final. Students who will appear in November 2023 and pass one of the groups in the existing scheme of final or has got exemption in the any of the papers. We have already discussed same thing. So students who will appear in November 23 and unsuccessful in both the groups. This also we have discussed. So this is all about CA final, and the last few provisions, that is practical training. Students who have already commenced the practical training before coming into force the new scheme. Obvious, since you have already registered for 3 years of practical training, you have to finish that. 6 months before the completion of 3 years of practical training, you can write your CA final exams for the first time. Of course, you have to clear 4 self-paced learning modules as well as ACI TSS classes. So students who have already passed either of intermediate group and have not commenced the practical training before coming into force the CA new course. That means you have qualified one of the groups in CA Inter, but you have not yet registered for practical training. You will fall under new scheme of practical training. That means 2 years, after that 6 months of gap, and so then you are eligible for CA final 6 papers. Next, students who will be passing one of the groups of CA intermediate in May 23 attempt and you have not yet started any articles earlier, you are not a direct entry student, then obviously you will fall under new scheme of articles, that is 2 years of articles. Students who will pass both groups of intermediate in May 23 or November 2023 attempt, even then you will fall under new scheme of articles, that is 2 years of practical training. That's all. So all the transition provisions are also cleared. Now let me answer so questions of one of the questions of each of the students one after another. Sir, will changes in CA syllabus will reflect CMA old syllabus? No, there is no rule as such. So Santosh, sir, will subsequent exams will be conducted in May, November or June, December? Remember, CA foundation exams will forever be conducted in June, December. CA inter and final exams will forever be conducted in May, November. Old scheme examination, December only, that is December 2023. That will be the last attempt for CA foundation old scheme. So another student is asking, tell us CMA syllabus change or not? There is no impact on CMA course since this is CA new scheme. So then how can CA inter students can learn shifted syllabus to CA foundation level? It's an interesting question Ramesh is asking. For example, a student who is able to qualify CA foundation in this May 2023, this June 2023 attempt, he will obviously fall under new scheme of CA inter. But some of the chapters of CA inter under the old scheme have been shifted to CA foundation. As a result, these students, that is students who have qualified CA foundation in the existing scheme, will not be able to study those chapters at CA inter level. Yes, that loss will always be there, but that is purely temporary. It's just a matter of 1 or 2 attempts. That's it. So I completed CA inter group 1. I am unable to write exam in November 2023. In May, how many papers need to write exam? Since you have already qualified group 1, in May 2024, it is sufficient for you to write group 2. That means only 3 papers of group 2. Sir, if I cleared CA inter group 1 in November 23, then so is it required for me to write costing once again? No, it's not required. When will the results be announced for CA foundation June attempt? Exactly 2 months. So exactly 2 months, you can count on your own. When will release ICA new scheme syllabus? Already released. All the study materials are already available in the CA Institute website. I'm existing CA final student when to complete self-based learning modules. Remember, if you are going to write exams in November 2023 and you are able to qualify both the groups, then you need not focus on self-paced learning modules. But if you are unable to qualify in November 23 attempt and you are going to write exams in May 2024 attempt, then you need not write self-paced learning modules C and D, set C and set D, they are exempted. Set A and set B, yes, you can write by the time results get announced and before applying for your membership. Let us assume you are unable to qualify in May 2024 attempt also and you are forced to write another attempt in November 2024. Then you must qualify self-paced learning modules set A and set B and then you have to apply for exam. Set C and D are exempted, you need not qualify. Any fee required to write CA final exams in new scheme if they are not qualified under old CA final scheme? No sir, it's an automatic conversion. So you need not convert again, it's an automatic conversion. If at all you want to convert now itself, then you need to pay some nominal amount. So Raju is asking, please explain CA Foundation pre-results batch before results 2023 June attempt. Yes, on July 6th we are going to start CA Inter pre-results batch and we are going to teach new scheme syllabus only. Since the study materials are also released, we will teach as per new scheme only. So Santosh, if first group is completed in old syllabus, then is it sufficient to write 2 papers as we have passed costing in old syllabus? So that clarity is still not yet given, we have to wait. Most probably, since you have qualified the first group in the existing scheme, under the new scheme, it is sufficient for you to write group 2 only, that is 3 papers. So your doubt will be, since paper 4, that is cost and management accounting, is falling in group 2, is it required to write or not? That institute has to clarify. Till now there is no such clarification, we have to wait. I think by the time results are announced, they will give that clarification also. Raju, I did not understand your question. What if we are planning to write the groups individually? Surya Teja, so I am unable to understand your question. Please redraft it. Junior SLT and senior SLT batches need to follow new CA Foundation scheme. Yes sir, all the students who are currently doing SLT batches, that is they are pursuing CA Foundation along with their junior and senior inter, will fall under new scheme. But frankly speaking, whatever is there in the CA Foundation accounts in the existing scheme, almost everything is there in the new scheme also. So their efforts will not get wasted. And we have already stopped teaching BCR subject to our students and we have even not started BCK also. So all the chapters of existing scheme of law are already there, except a few chapters are added, none has been removed. All the chapters of existing scheme of maths, stat and reasoning are continuing. So whatever we have taught to the students, none of the chapter will get wasted. So additional chapters we have to teach. Very soon we will come up with the material for new syllabus also. So audit is same as earlier or not in inter? Yes, it's almost the same. Even at final level also auditing is almost same. So all the existing papers which are being continued, so in those papers the syllabus is almost same. There is only reshuffle, especially in the subjects of accounts and law. In remaining subjects there are no drastic changes at all. CA pre-results batch MPC or BPC వాళ్ళతో combined గానా లేక separate గా SLT students గా? So once you come to CA Inter, there is no division as coming from MPC or BPC or MEC. Everyone is same. So once you cross CA Foundation, there is no difference as such. Why should we maintain separate batches? So Uday, I have attempted CA final group 1 for 2 times and failed, but I got exemption in paper 6D elective. I am not prepared and completed classes for group 2. Can you please advise which group I want to appear? So you can appear for any of the groups, there is no issue at all, and try to clear at least one group in November 2023 attempt. Remaining group you can clear in your May attempt. So it's very easy to qualify self-paced learning modules, because self-paced learning module set A is nothing but your law which you are studying in CA final. Set B is nothing but a SCMPE which you have studied in your CA final. So that too, it's an MCQ based exam, you can comfortably qualify. Don't worry much about self-paced learning modules. Take a decision based on the main papers only. So self-paced learning modules, I don't think CA Institute will trouble you. Sir, what if a student gets exemption in 6D, will be exempted for multidisciplinary under new scheme? There is no clarity. So paper wise exemption they have not yet announced. I'm confident that before announcing the results for May 2023 attempt, institute will give clarification for that also, because institute opinion is anyhow November 23 attempt will fall under old scheme only, then what is the hurry? So they will take some time and they will definitely give clarification for the same. So CA final I started in old syllabus, can we get the additional classes for new syllabus? Frankly speaking, at CA final level in all the 5 papers there is no much difference in the syllabus with respect to old and new scheme. It's almost the same. So hardly few concepts have been added. For all the students who are taking coaching with us, we will provide those video lectures, you need not worry about the same. But in the CA final new scheme, so 6th paper is there, that is multidisciplinary case study paper. I don't think there will be any coaching for that, you have to prepare it on your own. Increasing minimum stipend of 15,000 is really appreciated. Sir, actually that 15,000 is only for industrial training. So when it comes to normal practical training stipend, they have doubled. Compared to the old scheme, they have doubled, sir. So one student is asking, if a student qualifies group 1 in old scheme, then is it required to appear for paper 1 advanced accounting new scheme? No, most probably no, because advanced accounting is falling under group 1 in new scheme. If we are planning to write the groups individually, then what are the subjects we need to write in June? I think your question is May, not June. Okay. So for example, if you are able to clear only one group in November 2023 in the existing scheme, then what about the remaining group is there, you need to clear under the new scheme. Most probably they may ask you to write the exam in cost accounting also. So instead of making the things complicated, they may keep it simple. You qualified group 1 under the existing scheme, then clear group 2 under the new scheme. In that manner, so they may make the things simple. Let's wait and see. Sir, CA Foundation pre-results regular batch only for SLT students are combined with MPC BPC students. So Pradeep, generally in June attempt of CA Foundation, majority of the students will be SLT students only. So even if MPC BPC students are there, the number will be very less. But once the CA Foundation stage is crossed, everybody is same. Exams will be conducted by day. Yes, at all the levels, CA exams will be conducted day by day only. There is alternative days. Praveen Kumar, sir, my friend degree passed with 50%, but PG will be 60%. Now is he eligible for direct entry? Yes. So he can submit the certificates of PG and then he can register for cainter directly. So Hemant, good evening sir, I have completed my degree. Can I register for articles under new scheme without passing cainter? No. First you have to register for cainter. You have to clear both the groups of cainter. Then only your articles will start. Sir, I am a CA final student. If I qualified one group in CA final, it's not visible. If qualified one group, what is the self-paced papers? I have already clarified you. Sir, negative marks. At foundation level, there are two MCQ papers, that is paper 3 and paper 4, 0.25 negative mark. CA inter, in all the 6 papers, 30% will be MCQs, no negative marking. CA final, in all the 6 papers, so 30% will be MCQs, no negative marking. self-paced learning modules will be MCQs, no negative marking. So negative marking is there only at the foundation level in paper 3 and 4, that to 0.25 negative marking. Is there any deletions or additions in the syllabus? Actually, at foundation level, there are very minute deletions except deletion of BCR and BCK subjects, but they have added few chapters in each of the papers. So including math, stat, reasoning, they have added 1 or 2 chapters in mathematics. So no change in the syllabus in statistics and reasoning. At CA inter level, they eliminated EIS and so economics for finance, but they have added few chapters in accounts as well as law. Remaining subjects, there is no much difference in the syllabus. CA final 5 papers of old scheme are continuing as it is, no much difference in the syllabus. Is it better to write CA inter group 1 only in November 2020? That's your wish. Just because the scheme is getting changed, you need not rush up. If you are capable enough to appear for only one group in CA inter in November 23, you write only one group. So there will not be any issue even if you fall under new scheme. So unfortunately, students generally don't accept the change. Whenever new scheme is announced, they always want the existing scheme to get continued. So in this particular scenario, it's meaningless to argue for existing scheme, because in the existing scheme there are 8 papers and in the new scheme there are only 6 papers. In that too, in the new scheme there are MCQs in every paper, 30% MCQs. If you have the conceptual clarity, it becomes easy to qualify. So that's why institute has not given an option to you to continue under existing scheme. So there will not be any difference with respect to old scheme or new scheme. Students should not worry about the same. FM and strategic management has MCQs or not? Yes, in every paper of CA inter and final there will be 30% MCQs. Sir, when will CA foundation regular batch start? Already started for December attempt. Very soon we are going to start CA inter batches also. So right now CA foundation regular batches are running for December 2023 attempt. That's all, my dear students. I am able to clarify each and every doubt raised by you in the chat facility. If at all, even in future, if you have any doubts, you can ask the same. So please leave your feedback in the chat section so that we can also improve the same in the further sessions. Thanks to one and all who has participated in this live session. Thank you and all the best.